Hi, everybody. We're back. Second attempt. This is Duke's Download, special edition with Gina Schock from the Go-Go's. New Go-Go's single and Go-Go's documentary out today. I think we're going to have better luck the second time. Gina, I think, knows how to do it now. But let's just give her a second. Here, she's here. I just sent her the request. It says connecting.
Dookie!
Gina!
Oh my God! This has been a fucking nightmare trying to do this. Oh my Lord.
I'm so
Okay.
sorry about that.
That's okay, Dukes. It's
We
just
figured
me.
it out.
Let me turn you up. Oh my God, I'm so happy to see your little shiny face.
Well, I know
Penny,
you.
shut up! I'll kill you.
I know you said that like the only thing you know how to do on Instagram is heart things, and that's
Yeah.
it so far.
Okay, well, son of a bitch. Okay.
It takes time. It's time.
You know what? I bought a
Now I
Zoom.
can't see you.
I
Okay.
bought a ring light.
Oh wow.
Yeah. Oh, for fuck's sake. So much for the Zoom light and everything. I can't figure this sucker out.
Susan messaged me and said that she'll try to be there next time. So you look great.
I'm trying, Duke.
You look beautiful.
I could put this thing up there. You are such an angel. Thank you, honey. Thank you so much.
How are you? I mean, other than the annoying Instagram thing. And the ring light, no, the ring light works. It looks good. It looks great.
Yeah, it helps, that's for sure. If I could only get this fucker to mount, it would be really nice. Be really nice.
Yeah, I know. It's a pain. It's a pain.
I love you. I'm so happy that you asked me to do this.
Of
and
course.
It's a super pleasure.
Are you kidding? You're like the funniest person I know. You and my mom, I'd say, are like the two funniest people on the planet. And the two of you together.
I'm not going to fuck with this because I'm going to wind up just disconnecting and really making a mess.
Okay. Yeah.
Okay.
Look, you can just hold it. It doesn't matter.
Look who's with me.
It doesn't have to be. It doesn't have to be like perfect.
Penny, Penny, she's in the picture too.
Which one's that one? What's her name?
Penny.
That's Penny.
This is
How
Penny.
long have you had Penny?
I think about 6 or 7 years, and I love her so much. Wow. She's my little.
Who was the one who I met? Who's the one you had for so long who I loved? Mo.
Mo. Mo.
That
Mo
was so
like,
sad.
Was human. Mo
died.
was almost human. Yeah, she
so
was very
cute.
special. She's very. So's this one. They're all special. You know, they're just great.
They're all
life. They make a huge difference.
I know.
And they
how's
remind
it been?
you what unconditional love is. You know.
I know. But how has it been for you? I haven't seen you since. How much has changed since we saw each other in January? Since Sundance. I mean.
Oh my God!
The world's gone to shit.
I'm getting knocked out by all the fabulous, really good press that we're getting. Like everybody's seeming to really, all the people that have been interviewing us or have seen the doc, and they are like everybody's loving it. And today I've gotten a million emails and texts about how great the single is. It's like, and Rolling Stone wrote a great article, which you told me, which I have yet to read because I'm being bombarded by all this stuff at once and trying to take it all in. And this is really great. It's crazy after 40 years that all this is happening, and I'm in a little bit of disbelief, to be honest with you, but super grateful.
It must be surreal.
It is.
And I mean, also the process of the documentary, like how that's taken 2 or 3 years now at least, and to finally see it out there.
Yes, and to have someone like Allison to work with, she did such an incredible job on that documentary. She told our story in a very honest, gorgeous way, but not by being salacious or, she was really good. I'm very grateful to have her in my life and call her a friend,
She's great. And it's so perfect how you guys found someone who totally got the sensibility of the band, because that's a unique, I can't even put it in words, quantify. It's such a unique sense of humor, sensibility. Like it would take someone really special to be able to capture that, and she did.
She
you know?
was, you know, everybody after meeting her, all it trusted her. I mean, she was like, just, you got to trust me. And I think everybody felt, I know I felt, I can speak for, I felt very, very comfortable. And I think, you know, even your mom gave in. She was like, at first she was a little, you know, afraid of having her life up on the screen. And then she eased up, and she really got to appreciate Allison. And I don't know, we're all really happy with the end result. That's for sure.
And it's amazing. Like, there's not one single negative comment by anyone
I
anywhere.
know.
Like, it's unanimous.
Why should there be?
Yeah.
Right, Dukes? I mean, fuck. We make people feel good, okay?
Yeah.
You know, I'm glad we're not like a political band or anything. You know, well, Club Zero has a message for sure, but we're not overtly political, put it that way. But
I was reading the lyrics. Because I
you saw the
heard
video?
the song. Huh?
Did you see the video yet?
No.
Oh.
My mom said she was going to send it to me, but she hasn't yet. But it's not public yet, right?
No, but I hope soon it is.
I heard it was shot on Zoom, right?
I'm not sure. No.
It's not the video where like you guys filmed it separately? It's like you guys.
No, that was for something else, but the actual video from Universal is looks like a cartoon, and it's
oh wow,
it's all the lyrics, all the words as you are hearing them.
Oh, how cute!
Song. Yeah, and it's really good, really
wow.
good.
No, I haven't seen it yet. I'm excited.
Pretty cool.
But yeah, I mean, actually, that's one of the things I was going to ask you. Was I know the song is pretty political, but you know, it's been interesting to hear every single person in the band's different answer on the question of whether the Go-Go's were are a feminist band, because like my mom I think would say, you know, that she never really thought of it in those terms before, that it just what, but then other people, I think maybe Kathy or some other people have said, you know, oh no, we were, or Jane I think was like, no, we were feminists. Like that was, so what is your opinion on that? Were you guys feminists?
I think we were unknowingly feminists. We were so busy having a great time doing our job, you know. I mean, I don't think we thought about it that much, and it's only in retrospect that it becomes glaringly obvious, you know. We were saying something, and it was by our actions, you know. We were out there doing it, and now, like I say, in retrospect, making a difference. That I see now, and it's like, wow, we have our place in history. We actually contributed something here, and that's a really good feeling. And especially because, you know, after all these years, we still really care about each other. And I feel like this documentary has made everyone even closer, because it showed you're seeing yourself up on the screen, how it all went down, and it's like, wow, we really do care about each other. We really do have something special. There is this magical chemistry that happens only when the five of us are together, working together in the same room as each other. It's like, it's a great, I'm very grateful. That's where I am right now.
Yeah, I mean, I think it's just fascinating that the documentary is coming out now at a moment like as you said, the lyrics of the song, it's talking about the Go-Go's, but it's also talking about something much bigger and like what's happening in the culture and politics and everything at the moment. And it's so interesting that this documentary, that the story of the Go-Go's would finally be told in an era where it really matches up perfectly. Like the story of the band is more relevant than ever. You know,
yeah, Dukes, look, timing is everything, you know? I mean, and nobody has that, you know, knows exactly when that is, except when it's happening right now. And it feels like this is perfect timing for us to be back on the scene, to be visible in the way that we are right now. You know, the world needs more Go-Go stuff happening, you know? I think it makes people feel really good. And we're also bummed about the COVID virus that's going around. We were so looking forward to playing this year. Hopefully next year we'll be out there. I know we're all dying to get together and play. And now that we have can have another song, a new song to put in the set, makes it more exciting, you know, to work that out, how we're going to do it live. And I was thinking, I really hope that, I mean, who knows
hopefully next summer the tour is going to happen. I mean, you get praying.
Yeah.
And hopefully you guys are going to include this new song in the set list,
Sure,
right?
of course we will.
Yeah.
Of course we will. It would be really cool if we had a couple more. So
I know.
you never know, but it's like this was difficult getting this song together because everybody, you know, your mom's is in Bangkok.
Yeah.
Jane was in Mexico. Kathy's in Austin. I'm in San Francisco, and Charlotte's in LA. And doing it over the phone was not the best way. But yet,
doing the video, you mean?
And finished.
Yeah.
And then
and the song
cool
too.
part, when we got together up here in San Francisco, it took us 2 days to do it. And that was really fucking cool. Yeah.
Wow.
2 days after 20 years. And we all got in there, and I was like, wow. I keep saying this is so dumb, but I keep saying we really are pros. Like we could, we got together and we did our job, and we did a really nice job. I think I'm happy, I'm proud of it.
Oh yeah, I mean, and I think that's something that, you know, is really lacking in music and in general these days, is creativity and real musical skill. Because like, it's funny actually, I had a friend who I took to the Go-Go show at the Greek, the farewell quote unquote show a few years ago, and he said to me before
farewell.
Huh?
Farewell and hello.
The farewell tour, yeah.
Yeah.
Who I took to the show, and before you guys went on, he was like, he'd never seen the Go-Go's, and I was like, so, like, are there going to be like backup dancers and smoke machines, and like, I'm like, it's not like that. It literally is the pre like BS era of music where there was no auto-tune, no none of that crap. It was just pure like talented musicianship. You know, and that's lacking now. It's lacking in music.
Yeah, certainly. If you come to a Go-Go show, you're not going to hear us. You're not going to have any musicians behind the curtain, the Wizard of Oz shit, right?
Yeah.
That will not be happening.
But
and our live show is really exciting, right? I mean, there's no distractions. It's really about the five of us on stage when we're playing. There's nothing, you know. There's no, smoke and all kind of crazy shit happening. It's really about the five of us on stage at that moment playing, and I think it's kind of a great thing. So once again, something that we weren't really thinking about just sort of happened that way, and it's turned out, wow, that was a blessing in disguise. I think
totally. Yeah, and I think it's just of course it's amazing, all the amazing stuff that's happening with the documentary. It is a shame though, like I was like, it is a shame that we're not able to celebrate in person and do the premiere and everything like we wanted to. Like, yeah, I know that there were things that were supposed to happen that we talked about at Sundance that didn't unfortunately happen because of the virus,
Yeah, it's such a drag, and
because I wish that we could we could actually all be together and
yeah.
But I was thinking one of the best parts of being watching the documentary for the first time at Sundance was that I think I was sitting next to you, and you were like a couple of people, but I think you were next to my mom, and just hearing you laugh through the whole screening, like certain moments, and hearing your laugh track like to the documentary, I was like, it was hysterical. At first
yeah, I'll tell you what, when we all watched that on the big screen with with family and friends, it was a very joyous occasion, I gotta say.
It was.
And it's a damn shame because we were so looking forward to actually going to a theater and seeing it, and having our fans and the general public just come and take a look at what the Go-Go's were really about and are about. And it's the state of affairs, are so disturbing right now. But we just gotta. We've all got to pull together and do the opposite of what that asshole in the White House is doing. We've got to get the proper information out to there, share it with your friends. If now more than ever, as Spike Lee's, do the right thing. Wow, it is so needed because we're getting no leadership. Nobody's helping us along the way here. And I saw Barack Obama. I watched what's his name? Look, I can't think straight.
John Lewis's
funeral the other day. And, he gave the eulogy, and I was so sad, thinking, my God, we need him now more than ever. I wish that man could get back in office somehow, but wow. And, you know, seeing Bill Clinton, even George W., you know, he's not a bad guy. He just wasn't the sharpest tool in the shed. And Cheney was calling the shots at Monster Man.
Yep.
So whatever. I guess I don't want to get
Oh,
too
compared to Trump, Bush is like, you know,
I
I mean, I would do anything to have him back.
We were like embarrassed about Bush. Trump just is out of this world. He is such a monster. I just watched that documentary about Roger Stone. Oh my God, you've got to watch it if you haven't seen it. That will really frighten you about the influence he's had in so many elections is super disturbing.
Yeah, I mean, it's and to think that now he's a criminal and he's gotten off completely. You know, I mean, it's really horrifying. But hopefully, it's going to be over in less than 6 months. You know, hopefully Biden will be in there.
When Joe gets in office, he's going to try to clean up the mess that has been left. It would take definitely 2 terms to get it straight because, wow. Well, this will all be in the history books. That will tell the tale, you know. So
absolutely.
And Trump needs to be in jail, you know.
Oh yeah, no question. But no, you know, I was thinking about other things. My favorite moments from the documentary, because I rewatched it since Sundance, and I'm going to rewatch it again tonight. But one of my favorite parts of the documentary is the part where you talk about when you drove out from Baltimore to LA for the first time, and you actually have all these Polaroids, which people will see in the documentary, of you, of like your road trip, you getting to LA, like when you first arrived. Like that must have been so, like, I was thinking about the journey that just you've been on to have, like, you know, come from Baltimore and like you didn't know anybody, right? Really, when you first arrived in LA?
I knew 3 people in LA. Which I still know and are dear friends. That pulling into LA, and I arrived on Santa Monica Boulevard, right at the freeway there, right at the 405, at a gas station on Valentine's Day of '79.
Wow.
Me and a dear friend of mine, Babs, from high school, driving across country. It was mind blowing how big that city was, you know, and how big the freeways were. Like, I've never seen anything like that coming from Baltimore. I really didn't. We didn't have freeways. We had a beltway that went, you know what I mean? It went around the city. That was it. Not that much excitement going on there. But that was mind blowing. And then, of course, this incredible journey since then. I don't know. Wow. I know this is corny too, but I do believe in destiny, and I feel like this was all supposed to happen. I mean, how crazy, you know, me being at a party and meeting a couple of the girls from the band, and just how it all came together. And then that the 5 of us, you know, having this chemistry that we have, there's no real explanation, you know?
No, there isn't. And I mean, even reading Kathy's book, I was amazed by the fact that she said that she basically ended up in the band because she happened to go to the whiskey on like Christmas Eve, 1970 or 1980 or 79, and ran into Charlotte in the bathroom. And Charlotte's like, "Hey, do you want to be in our band?" I mean, that for sure is proof right there that it all, like, the fact, and it was mostly that way, like you said, for even for you, like chance encounters that ended up becoming this bigger than life thing. And so I have no doubt that it's destined, that it was destiny. And but yeah, I mean, I just love, like you said, I mean, talk about like iconic, like the images you took of like the freeways and the desert, and like it, but your life has been kind of like a very cinematic kind of thing, you know, your journey that you've been on, you know.
Yes, it has been.
And then the Polaroids, I mean, that, as people will see, that, I mean, that, I think, plays a huge part in the documentary, just like painting the picture for people. But are there any memories or things that were not in the documentary, like personal things for you that were like really special moments, and not just your experience, but like the whole band sort of journey, things that you I did not things they left out necessarily, but things maybe that only you would know, or that you like are special in your heart.
Well,
Memories.
yeah, I mean, how much time do we have? You know what I mean? It's like you got the documentary is what, an hour and a half or something. I'm not
Yeah.
sure, but
90
it
minutes.
would
Yeah.
take a long time to go over all that. But
I know.
to speak to that, actually, Dookie, I just started working on a book of photographs, and it's
Yeah.
it's all go-go stuff.
Yeah.
Because there's nothing out there. And
It's
I was
amazing.
like, I've been thinking for at least 10 years, about doing this, but I had to find the right person to put this together, help me put this together. And all the girls were like, 100% behind it, So I am reliving all this stuff with all my photographs, and it's going to be some that some photographs that you have already seen, but the majority.
The Clown Family.
They're going to, excuse me?
The Clown Family.
Oh, the Clown Family's going to be in there. They're a big part of history, the Clown Family. Look it up in the dictionary, Clown Family. I'll give you an explanation. There's going to be many of the photos in the documentary are mine, and there will be many more from my perspective, my experience with that camera, taking photos of all things go-go's.
Amazing.
So I'm super excited putting that together, and it's all helping me relive everything, just kind of like it was when we were doing, a year ago when we were working with Allison putting the documentary together. It's just like warming my heart seeing all this stuff, bringing tears to my eyes, making me laugh hysterically.
Do you have a title yet?
Excuse me?
Do you have a title
yet?
It's
going to be called Made in Hollywood.
Amazing.
And
I love it.
It'll be out next fall. Hopefully, we'll do a tour, and then it'll be out several months later. I'm excited.
Can you announce the publisher yet? Or are you keeping that?
No, I have a publisher. Did you?
No, but I said, have you announced it yet, or can you say you're the publisher?
I don't know.
You're gonna wait. I think my mom told me who they are, and I think they're a huge publisher.
It's with a publisher called Black Dog, but the company that is at the top of the food chain there is Hachette, and they're pretty big.
Huge.
They're massive. They're from it's a French company.
Yeah, of course.
They're the parent company. I got a literary agent in New York, and I got a partner, a fellow named Steve Prigg, that is an absolute angel to work with. This guy is just so knowledgeable, and I'm lucky to be working with him. It's been such a great pleasure to relive all the stuff with him.
Oh yeah, and I mean, so it's Polaroids, but like it's also just tons of. The funny part is, my mom has never been. I mean, she's sentimental in that she, loves the band, and but she's never been sentimental in that, like, the kind of person that keeps a lot of stuff. Like photos.
She moves around too much. She's doing a lot of moving, right?
I know, exactly. But you're kind of, you're sort of unique in that you have always been aware of the fact that, that one day, like, this stuff might be important and valuable. And so not only the Polaroids, but you have posters and
oh my God, Dookie, I have so much stuff. Like I hope to have this poster in particular in the book. We got to figure out how to photograph it. But wait, where? Can you see that? Go. Hold on. God damn it! Fuck. Oh my God. Anyway, if you can see that, it says. Go into the Go-Go's with the Stones.
Oh, yeah.
See that?
Oh, yeah. That's amazing.
Yeah, like that. I would have had that in there because it's like when we did that show with the Stones, when we opened for the Stones, they were doing a show, and on that tour, it was the smallest venue that they were playing. It was a 10,000 seater, and it was in Rockford, Illinois. and you know, they contacted our whoever was our booking agency at the time, and asked if we would be interested, of course. So we postponed several shows, went out there and did that show with them. Wow, what a trip to open for the Rolling Stones and, you know, hang out with them and meet them. And we get there and they had those posters put all around the backstage area of this auditorium. It was really cool.
Wow.
So yeah, that was that was a moment that I would love to have on tape in the documentary. That was pretty.
I know that would have been great. I'm sure there is footage out there somewhere of that. I mean,
I don't know, but I'll tell you one thing. I got to sit on Charlie Watts' drum kit, and his drum tech said, Gina, the rug that drum kit's sitting on is worth a lot of money. The drums aren't, not so much, but the rug was worth a lot of money. Everybody was great, and I'll never forget that. And I was just talking prior to this conversation with my partner Steve, you know, that I'm doing the book with, and a friend of his is putting out a book about John Lennon, and which brought to mind yet another incredible moment in my life when we played a theater in New York City, probably in 1980, I think. Mm-hmm. It was before we had a record deal. Might have been the beginning of 81. I'm not sure, but John Lennon was at that show, and so was David Bowie, and so was Pete Townsend. And we got to hang out with Pete Townsend, although he was kind of out of it. Bowie wasn't. Him and his assistant Coco, who was with him forever, they were in the the VIP room. And but unfortunately, John Lennon left at the beginning of the encore, you know, to beat the crowd, I suppose. But but this fellow that's putting out this book, this John Lennon book, I was like, well, that brought that all back. You know, rushing back in my memory, it was like, wow, there are so many cool moments. I, you know, living my fucking dream, Dookie. You know, it's just so cool.
I never knew the John Lennon
lucky,
thing.
Man. Huh?
I never knew the John Lennon thing.
Yeah.
He was there.
There's a lot of stuff. I'm just saying, like going through these photos and people that I'm meeting through this process. Not only the go-go stuff, all that. That's just mind blowing. But just in my own little space here, what I'm doing right now, I'm coming across so many things that are bringing back all these incredible moments in time. Yeah.
One thing that I thought was interesting was, you know, I'd heard the Saturday Night Live story, and I know that they didn't include, I don't know if it was intentional or not, they didn't include any of the footage of the actual performance in the documentary. My dad, just like a day or two ago, found the video of the performance, which I watched for the first time. Yeah. Which was not, it was actually a good show. It was a good performance.
No, it wasn't that bad.
It wasn't, you could tell you guys were tired. You're playing it safe. You know, you were just trying to get, you were just like, you were good, but you were just like not, you weren't like, you know, like super, you were just like, okay, let's just get through this.
We're trying to hold it together after sitting there for like 10 hours drinking and probably doing blow or whatever was around at the time. We were bored shitless. That's really a bad experiment for anybody that wants to work with us. No, don't put us in a room for, well, things are different now, but it was bad at the time. Not a good idea to sit around for. Yeah. That happened a couple times. Of us being stuck in waiting to go on and do something for 10 hours, and you get really bored. You got to find something to get into, you know.
Well, you were celebrating. You were like, we're on SNL. Like, let's have some champagne.
Yes, yeah.
And then it goes from there.
Who wouldn't? You know, you're 22 years old or whatever. Hey, man, come on.
Yeah. It's time to celebrate. And then by the time you actually have to go on, you've done too much celebrating. And then, yeah, exactly.
And then we continued. Right after we did our thing, we continued celebrating.
You're like, okay, back to business.
Back to business. That's right, Dukes. You know it, kid.
And the other part, which I thought was, I remember when we were watching at Sundance, the part about the Rock in Rio trip, and my mom said in the documentary, she says, I literally didn't sleep for a week, and then you like burst out laughing watching hearing that in the documentary. But what do you? Because that's kind of a part of the Go-Go story that, like, I mean, that trip, I've heard a couple stories about it, but like, I haven't heard. What were your memories of that whole experience
Rock
being
in
at Rock in
Rio.
Rio? Yeah,
Um,
if any.
oh my God, no! I had a great time. I got a boyfriend in one of the other bands that was playing. They were
Wow.
called Paralamas, and this drummer João Baroni. That band's still together. I think they were kind of like the Police, and
Uh-huh.
he saw us play, and he liked me, and so we spent a lot of time together when I was in Rio, and
So you were.
we continued to see each other when I got back here for a year.
Oh wow. So you had some. You
But
had
we
some.
were having, I was having fun with the girls too, but I was a little preoccupied with Joe at the time.
So you weren't necessarily as badly behaved, like in terms of
No,
substances and
yeah,
all that.
because I had something to take up my time, you know, I had something else going on, but
But
you know, man, the folly of youth, baby. What can I say?
yep, yep.
You
Oh my
know, it was the
God.
'80s, the decade of excess, and I'm really proud to have lived through all that, and I'm here to tell the tale. And everybody else, thank God, is all still around. It
Yep.
was
It's kind of
beautiful.
amazing that you guys are all still not only alive, but also
Yeah.
that you guys are all look great, in great shape, are still. I mean, the fact like I honestly I've always admired you for a lot of reasons, but particularly because I mean your great sense of humor, but also no your music, like the fact you are still such a great musician,
Thanks,
and like
dudes.
drumming especially takes a really really hard toll on your body,
No
right?
kidding.
I mean,
Sorry, I have to
yeah,
reapply my lipstick.
yeah. You look beautiful.
Thank you,
But no,
man.
but like how I mean, that is kind of a miracle that you've been
Yeah.
doing
Um,
as you've been doing what you do for as long as you have, and yet
um,
you're still in good shape, you know?
you know what? I'm paying the price for all those years, for almost 50 years of playing. Actually, this year I will have been playing drums for 50 years, a lifetime. Um, I've had two surgeries, one on my neck, one on my shoulder. I've got to get a surgery on my other shoulder, and wear and tear from, I mean, I guess just from also playing drums the way that I play. I never had to, you know, anyone teach me how to play. I just did it the way that I felt good for me. And
Mhm.
that was playing really hard and really keeping time. And that's something that I think I'm known for. And that's just
Mhm.
the way I play. I don't know any other way, but, you know, you know, since that last operation last year, you know, in December of last year, I started working out. So you know, as much as I can, I have a trainer and I go 3 days a week to get my body back together. I love playing drums. As a matter of fact, I got my drums set up at somebody's rehearsal room. And I'm going to go this week and go play with a friend of mine who plays guitar in a band up here. And I'm looking forward to that. And when we got to play in the studio for Club Zero, oh
Mhm.
man, that was a great day. It was like, everybody was like, Gina, you're okay. You can still play really good. Wow, it doesn't sound like you've had
Mhm.
any operations or anything the way you play. So
Mhm.
um, it's because, you know what, Dookie, I love playing drums. It's like, it's so easy for me. It's such a comfortable place to be. My body works the way it's supposed to.
Mhm.
Muscle memory, it all comes
Mhm.
back when I sit at that kit in 5 minutes. I'm right back in the saddle. Feels great. And what feels really incredible is when I'm playing with the four other girls in this band.
Mhm.
That makes it perfect, you know?
Mhm. Oh yeah, and I mean, when did the last surgery happen? Was it last year?
Last, or wait,
Because I know
yeah,
you were having issues around the July 4th shows 2 years
last year.
ago.
Yeah, Pen. I had it in the end of January last year.
Wow.
And then, in 2018, I had my surgery on my neck, which they had to replace 3 vertebrae. That was really not fun. And that took quite a while to recover. And then when I was recovering from that, I slipped, because, you know, it rains up here. Like, I slipped on my front steps and fell and cracked 4 ribs. That hurt worse than anything. Cracking your ribs, I fractured 4 ribs. Wow, that is really painful. Really painful. And
I don't think I
yeah,
even knew
so
about that. My God.
I've had some difficulties here, but you know, I just had to get my shit back together, because it's no fun sitting around taking a bunch of pain pills, then having to get off of those pain pills, having to get through all that pain, get off the pain pills, and then getting back into having your life back together. It's been kind of rough. And my mom, who was my best friend in the world, passed away 2 years ago. You knew her pretty well, Duke. She loved you.
I love her so much. I love her so much.
That's something I'll never get over. But I don't want to talk about that.
Yeah.
But Dad's here and he's fine. My father's 96, and you know, I have this great duplex, this house, and so I have Dad and I had Mom and Dad living downstairs, and so it's good. You know, it's good. It's good. It's good.
I was thinking, you know, one of my personal favorite like Go-Go's experiences ever was being on the God Bless the Go-Go's tour for so many reasons. But one of them was that was the first, maybe, I think it maybe was the first time, at least that I remember, of like meeting your parents. And we were at the Taj Mahal in Trump Hotel in New Jersey. But I distinctly remember meeting them for the first time and how much I loved them. And, but that tour was so much fun. That whole, that was the last tour when we all when you guys were would do the tour bus thing, like every night, you know, getting on the bus. And of course I loved that. I don't know, you loved it? Yeah.
I love the tour bus. Like your mom hates the tour bus. She likes to fly. I love the tour bus because we get into all sort of goofy shit and it's fun. And
I love
it's
it too.
just easier to deal with that. You get done a show, you get on that bus instead of having to, you know, go back to the hotel, get up early the next morning, and you know all you'd have to go through to get on a plane, fly to the next city. I hated that. I'm not a big fan of flying. I never have been. I much prefer the bus.
I mean, I know, you know, at least for my mom, you know, I get it that now that she's 61 or almost 62, that, you know, when you get older, it gets a little more difficult to do like the hustle and bustle, like, you know.
Hey, you know what? Let me tell you something. Dookie, don't you buy that bullshit. Not the way we travel. We stay in all good hotels. We are all first class shit on the planes. So, you know what? I have no room to complain. And I don't think anybody else does, really. But, you know, we've been around long enough to have everything work the way we want it to at this point in time. And you know what? Your mom still is tops at her game. She does that Saturday Serenade or whatever the hell. Now that I'm on Instagram and I'm like kind of paying attention to stuff. Kathy's very, very busy doing work all the time, and she plays a lot. Jane, the same thing with Charlotte. And then I'm trying my best to, you know, keep playing and doing what I do. But I've had to devote really, I would say, the last 5 years of my life to my parents, and it's time for that, and that's what you do, you know, because the parents that have had are, you know, they're just my best friends, so I don't know.
Absolutely. But you know, I hope that this Club Zero song is just the first. Like, I know there were other songs that you guys worked on, and I'm hoping that that you guys decide to release them. You know, I would hope that that's the plan. That's the plan.
I certainly hope we can get more stuff together.
Did you record the other songs or no?
No,
You just
no.
Okay.
I mean, believe me, it was tough enough getting everybody in that studio for those 2 days to get it done, and now with this COVID thing, you know, it's wrecking everything. For this whole fucking planet is just getting wrecked right now. It's so disturbing. I don't know. I
know. I really hope, like, you know, I have no idea. My hope is that by next spring, things in summer, this will be over and that people will be able to, you know, that the tour will be able to take place and everything.
Me too,
but
Dukes.
There's so much uncertainty right now.
Yes,
you know?
It is. Yes, it is. So we're gonna keep our fingers crossed, and you know, as soon as we can get our Joe in the Oval Office, we can start repairing things in the proper way and get rid of all this goddamn misinformation, and you know, get things straight and hopefully get things back together in this country.
Absolutely. Well, for those of you watching who don't know, there's a new song, Club Zero, which is out on iTunes and Spotify. New documentary, which is airing tonight at 9 p.m. I think Eastern, 9 p.m. Pacific too. Are you going to watch it live? Are you going to watch it tonight?
I was wondering, are you going to get together with any friends? Look, I was like,
I think
oh,
so.
you know,
Like maybe a couple friends. Yeah.
yeah. So I've had a couple friends of mine call me, and you know, like a week or two ago, and they're like, "You're gonna have a little, you know, viewing party, aren't you?" And I was like, "Well, I don't know. I haven't thought about it." And anyway, as it turns out, I'm going to go over a friend of mine's house. Two friends of mine, Gina and Tana, and and several other people are coming, and we're gonna watch it tonight. Have a little party, have a little food, have a little
Oh, that's
champagne,
cute.
and celebrate this incredible trip that I have been on for the last 42 years of my life. Yeah,
Oh.
man. How lucky, Dookie, right?
Oh, yeah. Well, and I feel really honored and privileged that I've had a front row seat to, you know, to what you guys have accomplished and done. And I really, you know, one thing I really appreciate and feel really, I feel emotional about it is I feel so lucky that I got to experience what it's like to be around people who aren't full of themselves, aren't pretentious, aren't fake. You're authentic, you're real. You taught me what it means to be like strong, to be, you know, to be honest, to be, you know, to like not take any bullshit. And those are qualities that, you know, especially in this day and age, are really hard to come by. You know, resilience, honesty, authenticity. You know, I mean, those are things that I really feel blessed that I got to hopefully get a little bit of it from witnessing you guys, to hopefully have taken some of that in.
Hey, Dukes, I've been around you since you were a little kid, right? Coming over to where was it, Captain Antibes, and watching you running out on the beach, hanging out with you since you've been a little kid, and watching you grow up into this beautiful young man. Yeah, beautiful in many ways, Dookie. You're fucking awesome, man. I love your guts. You know that. And
I love you.
I'm so glad that you have been a part of all this, because you have a front row seat at all the craziness that this band goes through. And you know, we are honest to a fault. I mean, so wherever that takes us is where, you know, is where we go.
Random and on a funny note, to end it on a funny note, but my mom said when I told her that we were going to talk today, she was like, "Oh, you got to have Gina tell people about the manager who like started having hallucinations or nightmares." Because
we were trying
because yes, you guys are amazing, resilient, talented, all those things. You guys are, and I say this in a loving way, definitely crazy and a handful.
How would you like to deal with the five of us on tour? I mean, really, I don't know how people do that. You know, they deserve awards. Anyway, this guy was kind of a goof anyway.
He was.
Yeah, he was nuts.
I remember
but it got to the point where he was trying any way he could think of to get away from us. And like when we were in Washington, he said, I forget what excuse he had, but he couldn't take us to maybe it was sound check or something. He couldn't go because he was sick. Anyway, we saw him doing his fucking laundry. You know, doing laundry was wonderful for him compared to being with us. So he was happy to be getting away from us doing laundry. But then the culmination of all the insanity was when we were playing in New York. I think it was at the Kodak Theater. How do I remember that? My memory's so crappy. And we couldn't find him. We didn't know where the hell he was. Well, we wound up finding him. He was in a closet. He was in a closet with the door shut, losing his mind, and had to be pulled out of that closet. And we put him on a plane, sent him home right away. So he lost his mind. I mean,
he locked himself in the closet.
It's not funny, but it's true. You know, he
literally lost his mind,
hiding in a fucking closet, like punched over, like he looked like a little embryo stuck in the, you know. My God, that's terrible. I can't. We were trying to think of his name, and I don't remember his name. But Belinda thought his name was Kevin. I don't remember.
My mom yesterday was like, he was such a dork, such a dope.
He was. He would like, and also in New York when he like we were doing some press or something. We all had to go to his room, and he opened up the door and he had a robe on, and that, you know, nothing underneath, and it was like, and then he went and sprawled out on the fucking bed, and we're like, what's up with this guy? He's so creepy. I mean, doesn't he know us by now? That don't work for us. I mean, what was that about with the robe on?
he
And he always wore
totally
fucking
inappropriate.
shorts. He always wore shorts. And it's like,
that.
does that guy have a pair of like jeans or anything? I don't like what's representing us. You know how he represents us these days. It's not good.
No. And also the other part was didn't he say that he had nightmares of like his cats turning into like his cats like heads coming at him, and it
Yeah.
turned into like the faces of the Go-Go's like
Yeah, and
coming
he
in
was
his
stabbing him.
face.
He was stabbing him. That really, we got nervous. We got pretty freaked out about that because
Yeah.
he in his nightmare he stabbed the cats with our faces on them. Wow.
That's really disturbing.
This is a cautionary tale of
Yeah.
what happens when you're trying to deal with this band for too long and go on tour. Cautionary tale. You may wind up in a closet, in a dark closet, huddled in there, losing your mind.
I definitely, as I always like the role of being able to just be there and participate and witness, as opposed to having to like actually like worry about. I think you have to be a pretty tough person
to tour manage.
To
tour manage anybody.
Yeah,
to tour manage anybody. But we are definitely a handful. I mean, really, we're a handful.
Well, I appreciate you helping me tell that story, or but because I thought people would like to hear it. But
Dookie, I will do this anytime you wish because I love seeing your beautiful little face, and if the next time we do it, I'll get somebody to help me get this like set up properly because I don't know, I did my
maybe
best.
Sue's booth can be there.
Susan or Wendell, because he's really good at this. He helped me with the ring light the other day. He's fucking awesome. He's one of the caregivers, and he's a great guy. I love him. And love Susan, my angel. Yes. I'll try to be a little bit more professional instead of hand holding my phone and walking around putting lipstick on in the middle of the interview and all that kind of stuff.
Believe me, people, I prefer it this way as opposed to being like some, formal. I mean, I don't think I could be like that with you anyway.
I could. How could I be? You're like family, Dookie.
Well, you're my Auntie Gina, Aunt Gina.
Please, always.
But yes, let's do it again. And for those of you who don't already follow her, you've just started getting active on Instagram again. So.
Yeah, I have my Instagram account, and I'm learning how to use it properly. And I need to get back involved in things more. And
with your book, obviously too. It's
and
a good time to do it.
My partner Steve was like, Gina, the publishers are going to want you to do more social media, and I was like, you know what? Okay, I'm going to do that. I'm going to do whatever it takes to help the Go-Go's, obviously, and do my book.
Yep, absolutely. Well, love you, Gina. Lots of love.
I love you so much.
And we'll talk soon. And congrats on the documentary. Have fun tonight.
I'll see you tonight somewhere.
Yep, I'm sure.
Okay, in the ether. We'll be around, floating around, hanging out together.
We will.
I love you.
Love you.
Bye, everybody.
See you
Thanks,
later.
Dookie. Talk to you
Bye,
later,
everyone.
sweetheart.
Talk
Bye,
to you later.
Angel.
Bye. Bye. Bye.
Now, if I can ever get off of this thing. Oh, my God. I'm going to try. Bye, sweetheart.